Hi friends, this is Narmala from Vikram Bethal. Hope you have all heard of Vikram Bethal Stories from your childhood. But do you ever think who is this Bethal and where he came from and what happened to him? Let me tell you regarding that today. On the 25th day, when Vikram was taking Bethal to the sage, he explained his story to Vikram. It goes on like this. Long, long ago, there was a couple who doesn't have kids for a long time. They were praying God to have the kids. One day, a sage came across them and saw the lady and thought he might be able to give a birth to a son who is very perfect in all the aspects. That is, the man with all the 32 virtues. So he approached them and told that he has some supernatural powers and he could help them to have kids. But he has kept them one condition. The father eagerly asked what the condition is. Then the sage said that he would give them twins and after completion of 5 years of age, he will take them with him and then train him and teach him in the ashram. And at the age of 12th year, he would only give one child back to them and the other will be kept along with the sage. Initially, the parents did not accept it, but since they need a child, they accepted the condition. And the sage has given him some medicinal herbs and left. Very soon, they got the baby twins. They were very happy and there were no bounds to their joy. After completion of 5 years of age, the sage returned and asked for the children. The mother was not willing to give the child to the sage, but the father stuck to his promise and he handed the kids to the sage. Then he took them to the ashram and he started training them. Among the two kids, the elder one was treated very good by the sage. He was given very good food, a very good clothes to wear, and he has even good ornaments to wear, and he was made to sleep on a very soft bed, and he is treated as sage's pet. On the other hand, the little boy was given a little food to eat. He was given a torn clothes to wear. He used to sleep on the hard floor. He used to wake up early in the morning and get preachings from the sage. The boy could not understand why the sage is treating him in this manner. In his ashram, there was one room which is prohibited for everyone. One day, the sage asked the pupil to go to river and take a bath. And he has saw the sage is entering into the room which is prohibited for others. Out of curiosity, the boy tiptoed to the room and peeped from the window. There he found a young man who is sitting in a chair. The sage went to him, applied tilak on his forehead, and wore him a flower around his neck, and asked him to go to him. As soon as the man bowed to the sage, he took a sword and chopped off his head. And the sage was laughing very sarcastically, saying that 106% is dead now. I have to sacrifice two more people to complete 108 good men to become immortal. Then the kid was shocked to see this. Now he came to know the evil thoughts of the sage. Then he thought he also should attain some knowledge so that he should become superior to his guru and get escape from him. So when the sage is out of the ashram, he used to refer to the same ancient literatures the guru is following and got so much of knowledge. At the end of the 12th year, the time has come for the father to take one of his child back to his home. The father arrived and the sage presented the two kids in front of him. He thought the farmer would select the guy who is very chubby and has gold ornaments at him and leaving the thin boy to him back. In the meanwhile, sage remembered something and went into the ashram. Then the little boy whispered to his father that the evil deed of the sage and asked him to take him back to home because the elder son doesn't have any knowledge and is no use to the sage. The father accepted his request and told the sage that he wants the lean boy back with him, not the chubby boy. This made the sage very angry, and he is frightening the kid to say what has he has done. Then, due to his the knowledge the boy obtained from the ancient literature, he could escape from there, and he entered into a pumpkin shell which is in a shop. The sage then went to the shop and bought the pumpkin. He was trying to cut open the pumpkin in order to kill the boy. Then soon the boy turned into whirlwind and escaped. The sage also turned into a wind and tried to catch the boy. Then the boy turned himself into a snake and tried to escape into the grounds. The sage has turned himself into an eagle to catch the snake and take it and fly away. Since it has become dark by that time, the eagle could not catch the snake. At the night, this boy reached his house and asked his father that he will be staying along with them in the form of a horse. If he needed, he can sell the horse for money, but not the reins of the horse. The father accepted. For few days, he was in the form of a horse in his own house. One day, the sage came in the form of a horse trader to buy the horse. And the father told the horse cost 10 gold coins, but he will not be giving the reins of the horse. Then the trader said he could not do anything with the horse without the reins and offered him 100 gold coins. The farmer is a poor guy. He was astonished by seeing the huge amount with him. Before he could come into his senses, the, the sage, who is in the form of a trader, rode the horse and drove away from there. Then he turned himself into a sage and tied the horse to a tree, and he started torturing the horse without giving food and water. He used to beat the horse daily. And finally, the day has come when he has to sacrifice the horse. Before sacrifice, they have to take the bath. So they went into the river to get the bath. Then the horse jumped and made the sage uncontrollable to this. And in that situation, the sage forego the reins of the horse. And as soon as the reins were flipped out of the sage, it turned into a small fish and escaped in the river. Then a old lady has come to fill a water in its pot. Soon the fish jumped into the pot. The lady took that water and gave it to Buffalo to drink. So the boy reached into Buffalo's stomach now. Then the sage came and bought the buffalo. He was about to cut the buffalo's stomach to take the boy out. Suddenly, due to fear of death, the buffalo dropped a lump of dung onto the ground. Then the sage thought he would dry the dung and then burn it to ashes so that he will kill the boy. Then the boy turned himself into a small insect and came out of the buffalo dung. Then the sage turned himself into a cock so that he can take the insect with his beak. Soon the boy turned himself into a parrot and then flew away. The sage followed him in the form of a hawk. In the travel, the parrot has seen the princess and flew to her into the lap. The princess liked the parrot so much and thought of keeping it as her pet. When the hawk tried to attack the parrot, princess and her mates drove the hawk away. Then the sage was left with no option to catch the parrot. So he disguised himself as an astrologer and approached in the king's court. He, with his supernatural powers and his power of knowledge of future and past, he told all the things to the king which has happened earlier. The king was very impressed by this astrologer, and then he also predicted few things to the king that might happen in future. The king was overjoyed with his future deeds. He asked the astrologer what he would need in return. The astrologer said he would need nothing except the parrot the princess owns. They agreed to give the parrot to the sage. In the meantime, the king requested the princess to hand over the parrot to the sage. When the king was about to give it to the sage, the parrot slipped from his king's hand and flew away. Then the sage turned himself into a kite and tried to catch the parrot. Then the parrot saw an ascetic coming in front and thought of seeking his help for the rescue. Then the saint who is coming has chanted some mantras which made the kite to stay back there itself. And the saint said that this is not your natural prey. You are not a hawk and he is not a parrot. Then the sage was feared that the saint would curse him and he flew away from there. Then the parrot turned into a boy again. Then the saint has told him there is only one way that he could escape from the saint. That is, in the banks of the river Kripa in Ujjain, there is a cemetery which has a banyan tree which is called Siddhavan. The boy has to turn himself into a corpse and hang upside down on the tree so that the sage who is cursed for being cannot enter there. If the sage tries to come near the banyan tree, he would be burst into 100 pieces. In this way, the boy can escape from the sage. The boy did the same as said by the saint, and he has turned himself into a corpse and started lying upside down on the banyan tree until this Vikramarka comes. This is how the boy has turned himself into a vampire and started staying on the tree. In the next video, I will tell you what happened to this vampire from then. Until then, stay tuned. Bye.